Voting. You see, in life, we vote on things that truly matter. Like, where should we eat? What should we watch? And when exactly should we admit that it was me who accidentally airdropped a dick pic to Brenda next door? Sorry, by the way, Brenda. Heck, my mate Sasha runs weekly deathmatch polls on his Instagram. One time it was, what's the best Disney sitcom? Sweet Life of Zack and Cody or Wizards of Waverly Place? F***ing hell, I don't know, Sasha. What's next? Would you rather be punched in the face or have someone locked in the room with you reciting that f***ing Jet2 Holidays advert for 12 hours straight? Nothing beats a shut the f*** up. You've milked it now. All of you have milked it. It's not funny anymore. But obviously, real voting matters. And that's why this week, I've been worried about this.
How old should you have to be able to vote in a general election? Last year, Labour pledged to lower the age for all UK elections to 16. That had already happened for some votes in Scotland and Wales. And today, ministers have said they hope the change will be in place by the time of the next general election, expected in 4 years.
That's right. Labour's opening the vote now to 16 to 17-year-olds. And before the foam starts bubbling in your uncle's mouth, I support this. But yeah, I'm still worried about it. Just not in the way the Reform Party are. Because it's pretty rich for Reform to argue that 16 to 17-year-olds aren't mature enough to vote when their Warikshire council leader is 19.
Is this 19-year-old the UK's most powerful teenager? Reform UK councillor George Finch has just been confirmed as the leader of Warwickshire County Council. He stood in as interim leader after his predecessor resigned, and now he's got the job full-time after a vote by his fellow councillors. It means he's in charge of a council with assets worth £1.5 billion and a yearly budget of £500 million. This Labour MP said locals deserve better, adding, "This is not about learning on the job." Councillor Finch has urged his critics to judge him on his record, which so far has included removing a Progress pride flag from the council's headquarters.
Oh, f***ing hell, mate, that must have been exhausting. I actually think I'm about to tear up. But here's the hypocrisy. If a 19-year-old can manage public funds, then why can't someone 2 or 3 years younger choose who gets to? The bigger problem here isn't to do with age, it's to do with information. Because if we are letting more young people vote, and we should, we also have to fight the absolute cluster of political misinformation online. Now, maybe you haven't seen these kind of videos because you're watching TikToks like this.
Throw me to the wolves, and I'll come back leading the pack.
Or this.
It's hero time. This is my chance to prove myself.
But as goes for the rest of TikTok, it's a goldmine of political hot takes. From people who only just learned what Brexit is yesterday. They'll say something clearly false to provoke outrage, and the people who watch their videos will repost it to warn others, unintentionally spreading that lie even further. And these creators always have an agenda. They'll never criticize the party they support. Like, they could find out that their party wants to legalize punching year 8s, and they will be like, finally, a party that is getting tough on child discipline. Now, some of you might say to that, but Ollie, you argue from a centre-left point of view in your videos. How are you any different? And yeah, I do. But I've also made videos criticising centre-left parties, such as the Labour Party. Like, my last video was about how Keir Starmer communicates like a 13-year-old boy whose parents just found his search history. But the difference is, I don't make videos like this. Alright fellas, you're not going to hear this on the BBC, but the government is planning to sack all NHS staff and replace them with drag queens. Trust me, I've seen the charts. I didn't understand what they meant, but they proved my point. This is wokeness gone f***ing mad. That's not commentary. That's my Uncle Frank's Wattpad account. And if you want a real example, Well, recently, some creators spread a deepfake video of Keir Starmer having an affair with a man from the House of Lords.
And on top of that, there is also, for good measure, typos in both men's names. Plenty of social media users were quick to weigh in that it looks fake, commenting, for instance, that Starmer's body shape is wrong. The location doesn't look like the two were outside Lord Ali's penthouse as claimed to be. Or if they were, why would they not wait until they were inside? If we take a closer look at it, there are also several telltale glitches typical of AI videos, such as a hand that doesn't seem to be attached to an arm, a leg that's become partially transparent so we can see a foot crossing it from behind. And another clue is the time code in the top right-hand corner of the video. We can see it remains frozen throughout the video, including the seconds, even though the people are moving. And this type of inconsistency is typical for AI created videos, Yinka.
That's right, a literal AI hallucination. And people believed it, even when the evidence looks like gameplay from Call of Duty 4. And right there is already another problem. AI is getting so good, and people are finding it harder to tell fiction from fact. And platforms like TikTok or Twitter are fueling that fire. For example, in the German elections, Twitter's own algorithm boosted content from the hard right party. How is that balanced? And look, I once knew a guy who'd heard top secret information that Boris Johnson was planning to use vaccines to make people magnetic. And where did he hear that? Dave from work, who worked at Greg's. Nah, Ollie, honestly, you gotta trust me here, you gotta trust me. Dave's got his sources, Dave's got his sources, yeah? He knows his people, yeah? I would trust Dave if I was you. Mate, unless he's hooking up with Suella Braverman, Dave from Greg's doesn't know shit. So here's the point. Yes, 16 and 17-year-olds should be allowed to vote. Just no younger than that, please. I mean, a 16-year-old can actually pay taxes. But we need two things. One, social media companies that act fast when taking down dangerous misinformation. And no, that doesn't mean someone's opinion. And two, mandatory political education for year 10s and year 11s, but more importantly, taught in a fair and impartial way. Because understanding politics isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing enough to tell the difference between a real issue and Dave from Greg's whispering bollocks into your brain.